welcome to our live write-in. We've been doing a lot of these this month, and hopefully you've been getting a lot of words written during them. So I guess we can all talk about where we're at with our projects so far and plan on maybe starting our first sprint at the 40 just to get it going.
Warm up.
Yeah. Okay.
Efficiency, I like it.
Yeah. We've done so many of these, it's like, how much do we really have to talk about beforehand?
Yeah.
Kelly's the first person I have.
And I'm still doing poorly. I don't even know. I still need to like update word counts from previous days. I don't even know where I am. But it's going slowly. I'm still really excited about this book. It's not getting finished this month.
Yeah. Rachel, how is all your homework going?
It's going okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So I have a whole term paper to write, so working on that. So many term papers.
And Megan?
Pretty good. Still a little ahead. I'm at like 35,500-ish. But I would like to keep ahead with Thanksgiving and everything coming up. American Thanksgiving coming up.
Oh yeah, you Americans.
I'm still little. Yeah. It's weird for us that yours is in October.
Yeah, but you're like Thanksgiving
Ours is
first. So close together. It's nice. We have a nice like balance. We have like Thanksgiving and then like Halloween and then Christmas. Like it's a good, it's nicely spread out.
Ours
you have 2 holidays in the same month.
Well, it's because we're Canadian. You want to go on the same month, you have to be Canadian too.
Well, in honor of American Thanksgiving, our prompts tonight are a little bit Thanksgiving themed. So for our first prompt, we're going to do just a warm-up for the first 5 minutes. And the prompt for it is a family reunion. Your character is forced to spend time with a family member that they can't stand, because sometimes that happens on holidays. We'll start that on the 40.
Yes. You don't have to use the prompt if you don't feel like it, but it's there to help you if you do need it. If this is your first time, welcome. We set amounts of time and write together. You can ask reading or writing related questions in the discussion section, and we answer them in between the sprints. Our sprints here are a little different from on the Nano channel. They are longer, and it's just fun and different. And we're really excited you're here.
Yes.
The whole welcome spiel.
Congratulations for everybody that's doing Nano and has gotten this far, because I know a lot of people probably have given up by now. So you are doing a great job.
Awesome humans all around.
Yeah.
I'm going to shower you in compliments until it's time for the warm-up to start. Oh, gosh. So.
Obsessively staring at that clock.
I was writing on my phone earlier, so now I'm going back through and actually tabbing in my paragraphs and stuff, because it's harder to do on your phone. And it bothers me that it looks messy.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, for any of us that were yesterday, we had a big discussion on the Nano channel about whether you could write with your phone or not. It was pretty funny. Anyway, it's the 40.
Yes.
Second.
So we're gonna write. Yeah.
time.
Already? Jeez.
Yeah, let's go so fast.
So fast.
Hmm.
And Erin has joined us.
Erin's
in our
here.
5 minutes.
Yay.
I'm here.
How did the warm up go for everyone? I got like 50 words. It was rough.
I got 130.
I opened my file.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, I didn't even turn on my computer yet, so I feel like that's a step ahead.
I got like 30 words. Much word. So right, much word.
I think I need a t-shirt or something that says much word now. I like that.
I print t-shirts, I can do that.
Now you know what you're giving me for my birthday. So
Yes. Yes, I will.
We've got people sharing their word counts in the discussion section. You guys did amazing. We did have one question before we started, which was, how long do you guys stream for? We don't have a rigid time limit, but we typically do 3 20-minute sprints. So however long that takes with answering questions in between.
So we're usually on for about an hour and a half. These.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah.
A little longer if we ramble.
Yeah.
Sometimes happens.
they're talking about chocolate in the comments, and now I want chocolate. Thanks, guys. Blame this on you.
I had a question for you guys. I saw some people talking in the discussion about how they are falling out of love with their project, which I feel like is pretty common for this point in Nano to start falling out of love or even hating what you're working on. So what do you guys do to fall back in love with your projects when you're on a deadline like this where you can't afford to just like sit and wait for the love to return?
I always see that I'm like super excited to write at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then that can be super pumped, and then I'm like, okay, and then I can figure out, the middle in between.
Pretty much what Rachel said. Or I like completely change the plot in a way that is like exciting, like killing someone or something horrible happening.
Okay, murder is not a good, good device in your life if you like need some more excitement.
Oh, come on. There's a solution to everything. Right, Megan?
I got your back.
Megan.
Yeah, I like to look back over my notes because a lot of times I feel like I need to be reminded of like what it was that I wanted to be writing with this book, because sometimes like I get off track and like forget like what it was that I was excited about. So looking back over things and like kind of getting yourself back into like where you wanted to be with the story can help.
Yeah, for sure. Again, feel free to ask us writing or reading related questions in the discussion section. If I missed your question, please re-ask it. You can like tag us in it, like at WordNerds, and it'll turn it yellow or orange so I can see it easier. I'm not trying to ignore anyone, just like sometimes when there's a lot of discussion happening, things get pushed up before I can see them.
Yeah, or you can just talk about ice cream, which is
Yeah.
what's happening. You guys are kind of the worst because now I'm like, oh, chocolate, oh, ice cream,
Chocolate.
oh. Someone's going to the general store after this chat.
B. Marie asked, is Desiree okay? Desiree is okay. It was just her birthday last week, and so she's been celebrating it a lot.
So she's
She'll be
extra
back.
okay.
Because she turned 21, so you know.
Yeah, she turned 21.
You know how it is. It's still weird because in Canada, the 19th birthday is like the big celebration, go to all I can drink now thing.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
Get into all the places and
Yeah.
have all the alcohols.
We're a little behind on that.
Mhm.
Got a question from Jasmine. If you could only give somebody one writing tip, what would it be?
Oh.
Right.
Mm.
That was a saucy answer.
I think mine would probably be finish what you start.
Oh,
I feel like
Anywhere if you don't
it is
finish
hard.
things. So.
Yeah. I feel like mine would be
Experiment?
like, yeah, actually, I was just about to say, like, experiment and find what works for you out of all of the writing advice.
I think so much of it comes back down to Rachel's advice, though, and just the like butt in chair. You can't finish anything or experiment if you're not doing the work, and
True.
which is less exciting and fun. But writing is fun. It's more fun than other work, but sometimes you just gotta do it.
I think in a similar vein, outside of the just like make yourself do it, I think plan realistic timelines. I think Maggie Stiefvater did a post about this recently, talking about planning for writing to be a long game and understanding like even when you indie publish, like you need to give yourself the time that it's going to take to do all of your work and to do it right. And so like don't rush things. You have so much time.
Yeah. One other really good piece of advice I was given was like, try not to be too obsessed with like the actual publication process and like work on your craft. And that turned out to be super important to me later and something that I should have followed more closely. So, I mean, it depends where you are in your process.
Now I'm trying to think of more of like a craft piece of advice,
Mm-hmm.
well, the like getting it done piece of advice. But maybe we'll think on that between the next sprint and get back to it.
There's so much craft advice.
Oh yeah. I know we're all only giving like one piece of advice here, but we've all given like 3 pieces. But take what works for you and throw out the rest. Like you don't have to take everyone's advice. That was something I tried to do for so long. Like, okay, well this writer does this and this one does this, and now I need to meld them so that I can do super writer. And it doesn't.
But the melding them is still kind of the right attitude, though, because like you can't take the exact thing of multiple ones. You're kind of taking little bits of pieces of everything and like finding the best pieces for you.
True.
Because your process is going to be like a super mashup of a bunch of other people's processes.
Yeah, so pretty much take all the advice we gave you and discard what doesn't work for you.
Take all the advice we gave you unless you don't like it.
Pretty much.
Exactly. Should we start the next sprint on the 55?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds
Cool,
good.
cool.
The prompt for that one is a dinner gone wrong. Whether it's because of an awkward conversation, terrible food, or a murder, a meal between friends or family is ruined in some way.
I love how those are the options. It's like bad food, awkward conversation, or you know, someone
murder
in the middle of dinner. Whoops.
Hey, never know.
Oh my god.
Now I'm gonna have to like message all of you after American Thanksgiving and be like, no one got murdered, right? Everyone's fine.
Maybe it's an awkward
American Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Hey, maybe it's an awkward conversation that turns into a murder.
Into a murder.
Who knows?
I feel like that happens sometimes, some places.
Not that we know from experience.
Jody asked a question about the videos on my channel. Yeah, I had to pause for a little bit because an older member of my family died. So I am unexpectedly in Florida right now, but there are going to be more videos and more questions over there. Just starting on Wednesday, probably, once I'm back to more normal life.
No pressure.
We've got lots of people sharing their favorite writing advice, and it's all amazing. We've only got 1 minute, so probably we'll have to wait on any other questions until after the next sprint. Like we said before, our sprints over here are 20 minutes, so this sprint will go until the 15. And hopefully we can see some big word counts.
I plan to turn on my computer this time, so.
It is time.
Excellent minimum goal. It's
All right, go word.
Go for it. Go forth in word.
everyone do?
I got nothing done. I spent the whole time trying to track down this feed ghost.
The chat
I got like
ghost.
160 words because I was so distracted.
Yeah, so we have people in the comments being like, there's noise in the background, and we were trying to figure out what it was. And I think it's just the sound of us typing, because a long time ago, people who are watching us, we used to mute our, like, all of us when we were typing, and people were like, no, keep it on, like, it sounds nice, like, it's nice to have the typing sound in the background, so we kept it on, and now apparently people don't like that, so sorry guys,
also,
that's what it sounds
I'm
like.
really salty today.
Yeah. We're actually, it could just be like the ambient sound of our houses because like we all live in houses with like things going on and
I think
streets
somebody's
outside and stuff.
yeah.
So.
I think somebody's echoing is like or typing is like echoing slightly though. Like
Yeah.
I was hearing that too, but I don't know which one of us it is and like who is slightly echoey today, but
The first comment is no, keep it on. So I don't know.
Make up your mind, people, like, what do you want? What do you want from me?
We just want to make you happy.
Okay, yeah, people are like,
love
keep it on. Okay.
Please love us.
This is the profession you chose, people. This is a sound that's going to be with you for a very long time.
I just turned my
Get used to it
volume.
now.
I just turned my volume down
Yeah.
a tiny bit, and it's less intense.
Yeah.
So
I know
Keeping
for
it
me when I'm
honest.
writing, it's a little loud, and so I turn it down, and then I turn it back up once.
It's not for everyone, but that way, if you don't like it, I guess turn it down. We can't make it for people who like it and not for not. So turn it down if you don't, and we'll just try to roll with it.
yep.
I mute when I'm eating cookies during the sprints.
Well, we want the sound of your ambient chewing. Rachel apparently has strong feelings about chewing.
Hard
Okay.
pass. Although, I mean, cookies,
people
like...
exercising the sounds though in the discussion. That was amazing.
You guys are the best.
Do an exorcism for everything.
Bless.
Why not?
When in doubt, exorcism.
There's another T-shirt. Okay, you guys.
I love that. I love that a lot. I write that one down. I kind of like that.
Make a list.
I'm going to.
I'm gonna expect like 5
I'm opening
T-shirts
a
at the
note
end
on
of
my
the
computer
year.
right now.
We had a question from Headphone Books. Who are your favorite kinds of characters to write? We all know mine, murdery
Yeah.
people. But I want to know
Murdery
what the rest of
characters.
y'all's favorite.
Murdery characters. Aaron's favorites are evil queens.
That's true.
I think Desiree's are pirates.
Yeah, that's pirates.
Evil
That's
queens
why I
and
love
witches.
favorite class.
Well, I guess
Yeah.
witches and evil queens are kind of interchangeable a little bit.
Yes.
Evil witch queens.
Yeah. I like witches. in
I just
general,
like
not evil
characters-
ones, but I haven't written much of them. In theory, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything in particular. I do really like characters that just have like a ton of like inner demons that they're dealing with, but that's more general.
I like characters that have outer demons they're dealing with.
That too.
I guess I like royalty. That I like the court politics elements to like characters and plots and stuff. So
Yes.
Plus
I just
being
feel like I'm
Spanish
not
is
good enough
fun.
to write that. But I love reading it.
Yeah, same. I always try to write those, and I'm like, people can probably unravel this like secrecy and backstabbing and know what's coming, but I'll always try.
We had another question from someone about pacing murders. Where did it go?
Pacing murders.
Yes.
Who needs to
Oh,
pace
dear.
murders?
My computer's freezing up just a little bit. Okay. It was from Snow Kitty Girl asking, my villain poisoned someone recently. How long should I wait before killing off someone else?
Ooh.
However much time you want.
You could just do a 1-2 punch and just like kill off a bunch of people right away. Leave your reader reeling.
yeah, don't wait long enough for like the characters have completely like gotten past the trauma of it. Like just on the edge there where you've like had time to absorb the shock for the like plot and all of that, and then just hit him again.
absorb the poison.
Yeah. Sorry if I worded the question a little weird. I was trying to remember it because my computer was being weird. But I feel like it also depends a little bit on who the character was that you just killed. Like, was it a really big character or was it a little bit of a throwaway character anyway? So, like, for example, in the book I'm writing right now, there is a murder mystery element. So I'm, like, killing random characters, and it's, like, no one really needs to hurt for them, except for the people who love them fictionally or whatever. But, like, the readers don't really need time to care about that, so I can get away with killing someone in the next chapter even. But if it's like a major character or like you've killed off the love interest or something, you should take a few chapters probably to let people cope.
Recover.
Also, like, depends on how many total people you plan on murdering.
Because I do like the 1-2 punch, like Rachel was saying. So.
It's my favorite. I mean, like, it sucks to read because then you're just so heartbroken, but
you hurt.
because you hurt, but at the same time, it's just great.
I hope nobody comes into this chat late without realizing.
Like, right now,
It's like, how many people do you have to murder?
Wasn't that thing like all the search histories of writers
Yeah.
like, look like we're all serial killers?
Pretty much.
Like, I don't actually need to break into the Pentagon. I just need to know if I needed to, like, how I would. Like, I'm not actually planning to.
Exactly.
Like, I understand why you might keep that information secret, but if you could just tell me,
Yeah,
I need
exactly.
to know how to break into the Pentagon.
Yeah, I don't actually need to know how to dissolve a body. I just need to know that if I were to, like, what would be the best compounds to use. Yeah.
Should we set the next sprint for the 25? Just move right
Good.
on.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm totally pulled into the like character murder pacing and Harry Potter discussions going on.
Oh.
I am a little
I feel like
worried. Oh, go ahead.
I say this isn't murders, but I feel like the people getting petrified in Chamber of Secrets has like really good pacing. Like
Yeah, it really does.
like she really paces it out really well. Where like the threat always feels like imminent without it just being like constantly.
Without it being like, all right, we get it. They're all getting petrified. Close the school.
And it like builds.
Yeah, there they have
like,
to be so careful to like not do it enough that someone actually got murdered. That like it was like it was already pretty lucky that so many people managed to go by without actually just getting petrified though.
Yeah, how it like starts with like a cat and then like a ghost and then actual people.
Or to make it realistic so that readers aren't like, what the heck, Dumbledore, why aren't you closing the school? Instead of just being like, it's fine.
Yeah, no worries.
Got someone. They were wondering if we were going to get into Harry Potter talk tonight.
Of course.
Usually.
What a
The answer
ridiculous
is pretty
question.
much always yes.
Every night.
So for our next
have a
sprint,
prompt.
yes, we do have a prompt. So because after Thanksgiving comes Black Friday, the next prompt is a shopping trip.
God.
Your character desperately needs to purchase something, but they encounter an unexpected obstacle.
Ooh.
It's a good one.
Oh my gosh. I just realized my entire world has no system of shopping for anything.
Oh, there we go.
Like you've no money.
No.
You're welcome.
You need to go buy something, Megan. What are your characters gonna do?
Where do your characters get their clothing from?
The bodies of their enemies.
I actually have to leave a little bit early, so I'm probably just going to drop off sometime during this chat time. So, we'll just, sorry about all the people who are just like, where the heck does Rachel go? I'm just gonna like, peace out, guys, and just leave. So, do the chat, and like, I'll say like a brief goodbye to you now, and we'll just disappear into the night at some point during this last chat
mysterious.
time.
All right. It's time. Yeah, this sprint will go for 20 minutes as well. So good luck, everyone. time.
I feel like I'm seeing everyone start yawning.
Like not even that late over here.
It's not even 6 yet here. Like close, but
Well, it's almost 9 over here. So it's later than that.
you have a little more of an excuse than I do.
I got 6:28 this time.
What?
Nice. It's amazing.
I got like half that.
Yeah.
Still pretty awesome. I've just been moving scenes around. So I confused myself and then unconfused myself. So is that still good? I feel like that's something.
For at least 500 words.
We have some amazing word counts.
Yeah, we do.
Comments. You guys are crazy, but in a good way.
The best kind of crazy.
Yes. Productive. Oh my goodness, it's 2:45 a.m. for someone in the comments.
You're so dedicated to writing.
That's dedication.
We had a question from someone in the discussion section about co-authoring a book during Nano. I cannot find the question right now, but basically the question was, do you have any tips for co-authoring a book during Nano?
You're the only person who has co-authored. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's all you.
But not for Nano.
Yeah, I have co-authored books in a pretty short period of time. And I think the biggest thing, I think I saw someone else talking about this too, but communication. Make sure you know exactly what the plan is, like what you want from each other. Even if you don't have a huge plot or anything, like you don't have to have one of those to succeed. But understanding like how many words are expected, how often you're expecting each other to update. If it's a book where your characters are going to be coming into contact with one another a lot, so you're going to have to be writing each other's characters, figuring out what your policies are going to be for like editing words. If maybe you feel like one character is more yours and another character is more your co-author's. Is it going to be fine if your co-author comes in and edits their character's dialogue when they're appearing in your scenes? Just like all the little random things that if you talk about them, they're not a big deal. But if you suddenly just like jump in and start doing them, then it can get a little weird if you haven't discussed it beforehand. And just have fun with it. It's really, really fun to have someone there who is excited about an idea with you. It's this like totally unique feeling.
Yeah, you and Kyra have way too much fun. It's making me want to co-write so bad.
It is so fun. It has been like so hard to write a book on my own now that I've written 2 with Kyra.
You mean I have to do the whole thing by myself?
I know. Like, every character has to come from my head. What?
Stop yawning. You're making me
yawn. 2 days in a row of live write-ins is just like killing us apparently.
We had a question from Amanda. How do you handle transition scenes where there is a longer passage of time? I'm having a lot of trouble with this.
J.K. Rowling does this really well. Flip through the Harry Potter books and check it out.
She's so well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
I think it's okay to just say a few weeks pass and all the characters. Like, that's what J.K. Rowling does in huge passages.
Yeah, that's pretty much all she does.
And we just studied and went to class.
Yeah. Or she will do, I really like how she does, like, you know, oh, midterms passed fast, and then this happened. Then she'll list like a few things, sometimes like funny things that happened, or like, oh, this happened out on the lawn, and they were doing this, and like an overall kind of like, this is what was going on during
Yeah,
the
it
school.
feels like she's writing like a very short montage. Like it's like time just passing before your eyes.
Yeah, I love the little details she puts in. I feel like that's what makes it feel very, like, you feel like you don't miss out on any part of the school year, even though you're only getting highlighted bits. You feel like you're there for the whole thing because of those little details, like, oh, this funny thing happened.
Yeah,
in the hallway.
Especially like comparing the earlier books to the later ones. Like, wow, it really did feel like a whole year in this tiny little book.
My favorite was
she does that really well.
In the first book, where like the seasons changed and it started snowing, and Fred and George had bewitched snowballs to pelt the back of the squirrel's turban.
Yeah. So little details like that are great. Like, she does a good job of that. Always learning from my favorite authors is the best way to teach yourself to do things.
Yeah. So I think since we are all seeming to fade a little, we're going to do a shorter sprint for the final one.
10 minutes per lesson.
10 minutes?
A 10-minute final sprint. Do we want to do that at the 55?
Sounds
great.
good. Perfect. Yeah. We're melting.
How to I don't remember.
How do I word? Oh, yeah.
I'm looking to see if we have any questions. Okay, yeah, we have one from Charles. Have you ever changed main characters midstream in your story? I mean, introduce a new character that turns out to be more colorful than the first one.
No.
No, me neither.
That kind of stuff is very much what first drafts are for, though. Like, you'll find that out when you're just quick drafting something, and then you can make the adjustments later, but don't feel the need to go back and, like, rewrite everything, making this new character more of a feature. Or, like, just get through it, because you'll discover more things before the end, and then you can rework in the next draft.
Also, it depends what you mean by more powerful. If it's like the character is more interesting, then yeah, maybe they should be the main character. But if they're just like more magically powerful, then I don't think that would matter. But
yeah, I haven't totally switched to a different character as like the main point of view character, but I have totally revamped a character's personality because I felt like a different character I had introduced had a much more interesting personality. So I was like, okay, you are now my main character, but you have the same name as the original character. And then I went back later in revisions and edited their personality to match all the way across.
I've never done that before. I think probably because my characters aren't really fully fleshed out until second and third and fourth drafts. So nobody's really very interesting at first.
They're all just stick figures walking around.
Pretty much.
Saying the dialogue.
Paper cutouts. Yeah. Insert and fill in the blank later.
Do we have a prompt for this final sprint?
We have one last prompt. All right, because a lot of people have to travel for the holidays, the last prompt is an unconventional journey. Your character has somewhere to be, but all of their world's typical modes of transportation are unavailable. Whether that's a snowed-in plane or there's no horses to be ridden. They have to find a way to get somewhere.
Good stuff.
I don't know why this is happening. Like, usually, like last Sunday, we were in post chat for like hours and not tired.
Yeah, it's weird. I think it's also because somebody started the yawning session, and then my body was like, "Oh yes, let's do this too."
Ooh, that looks great.
Solidarity. Again, this is going to be our final sprint of the night. It is just a 10-minute long sprint. because yawning, lots and lots of yawning.
Because yawning.
And we will be back again. We're here every Sunday in November, and then we'll be back on Saturday also doing another write-in. So write-ins everywhere.
And on Saturday we'll be on the Nano channel, so don't come to our channel for that.
Saturday is the Nano channel. Yeah. All right, it's time. We'll talk more about that again after. time.
Yep.
I actually think that was my best sprint of the night. I got 441.
Wow, maybe you needed less time. The pressure.
I got like 189. And I'm only like 50 words away from 30,000. So.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Only
So
be
it's
one day behind
mild
because that was yesterday's word count.
Pretty good
Nice.
stuff.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm about 18 years behind, so you know.
It's okay. You've still written a lot of words this month.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's not for Nano.
Do we have any final questions or anything we want to jump into?
I'm sure there were some questions we missed.
Yeah, I
Ghost
have one.
songs.
We had a question from Danica. The number one adjective I keep defaulting to is careful. Anyone have tips for spicing up adjective/description to add variety while avoiding strange, clunky phrasings?
Oh, you could say cautious, but you can't say that too many times either.
I definitely, I mean, this isn't something you need to worry about a lot right now while you're drafting. Yeah. But in the future, I really like the emotion thesaurus.
Yes.
Because it will give you, like, you can look up something, like a certain emotion that your character will be having, and it will give you, like, things they will do. Like, things people will do when they have those emotions. So you don't have to rely on just telling people, like, oh, they did this carefully. You can describe it in other ways. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it provides like physical responses, like how someone would respond physically to that, how they might emotionally feel during those things, what different five senses you could use to show that they are feeling those things. It's amazing. I love it so much.
And they have a lot of other thesauruses for different things. They don't just have emotions. I only own the emotion one, but.
Yeah, they have positive traits, negative traits, city settings and rural settings. They just came out with a new one. It's red. I don't remember what it is, but it's red.
I know what you mean, but I can't remember it either.
I want them all.
Yeah, pretty much. They're amazing. The emotion thesaurus is like really right by my desk at all times.
Yeah, literally, it was right next to me.
Emma's there.
Under my notebook.
This is probably one of those times where it's really good to like show rather than tell. Like if a character is really cautious, like I think Megan said this, but like having them react in a way that shows they are cautious rather than being like, and she was being really cautious, or she walked cautiously, or you know, if the character's more timid or careful, like showing them in other ways in how are they acting, that type of thing.
Yeah, it's not so much finding other adjectives to use, but finding ways to do it without necessarily using an adjective.
Yeah.
Okay. First up, if you go to onestopforwriters.com for $9 a month, you can get access to all of the sources.
Well,
as well as a bunch
sources.
of other writing tools that Angela Ackerman and the other one put together.
I actually like having mine in print.
I do too, but they're expensive. So
yeah,
Forger and Nano, if you're just paying $9 to get all of them, like I'd rather have them as well, but there's a lot of them now, and they're not cheap. And number two, if your character is always going about things carefully, maybe try to find a way to have them forced into addressing the new situation differently. So they're not always going to do things carefully forever. At some point, they just need to be impulsive or act right away, or like just try to mix up the scenario, like how they're reacting to the scenarios, maybe. If you find you're getting into one thing a lot.
Yeah. And if you find yourself stressing about it too much, just remember, like, it's Nano. You can write careful or whatever adjective is your favorite. I think I use like nosy a lot. I can use that as many times as I want in November, and then January, Megan will have to deal with the fallout. That is not.
You're already ahead of the game knowing what your words are, because then once the book's done, you go back, you can just kind of do a search for that word and kind of see how much you're actually using it, how often, all of that, and then find the ones that are easiest to change.
Yeah, I had a similar problem in Bryony Gray because it was like I didn't realize until my editor pointed it out. She's like, just so you know, like there's a lot of like jump scenes and there's a lot of scenes where she's scared, and literally the only thing that ever happens is like her heart starts beating really fast. She's like every single time, and I'm like, oh right, I guess I should go through for that. So I ended up going through and just like. And it was fine because it was a first draft, but I had to go through and just like substitute, and that's when the emotional thesaurus came in really handy, is like substituting other, you know, things that her body was doing, like, well, are the palms of her hands really sweaty? Is she shaking slightly? Like stuff like that, and kind of replacing those areas. And like we said, you know, do your thing during Nano and then worry about it after when you're editing.
Yeah, for sure.
I just talk a lot about where my characters are looking, like they're making eye contact or they're not making eye contact.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
everything's
me too.
so funny.
Me too. Mine are always
I talk about their
glancing.
eyes so much, like the look in their eyes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why?
Yes. Yeah. The mine are always glancing everywhere. They're glancing at
Yeah.
each other and they're glancing away, and
They're glancing, they're gazing, they're
Yeah.
And again, I saw somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody was actually talking, like it was like a published author was talking about that on Twitter, like yesterday or something. They were like, I wish that like the English language had more words for like look, gaze, eyes. Like, why do my characters have to be looking at things all the time?
it's so true. Aw. Yeah, it's the same with like she gave her a suspicious look, or she gave her a narrow glance, or like stuff like that, and you're like trying to convey emotion, but you're like, stop looking at each other.
All right. Well, like we said before going into that final sprint, we will be back this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the NaNoWriMo channel. And then we are here every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. So if we missed your question tonight, we can answer it then. But it's getting late, so we will probably wrap this up.
Don't have any final questions or comments? Anything anyone wants to say? Good. Yeah.
Good.
Good luck with the rest of Nano. Still got like 11 days. There's still a lot of time to catch up. So, yeah. And good luck with Americans with the holiday and trying to get writing done then. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You can totally do it. I believe in all of you. So, yeah. So we'll see you guys Saturday for the write-in and all this week because we'll still be posting videos. And we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.